Hey, what's up? My name is Lucas. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based out of West Michigan. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'll be walking you through my monochrome preset pack. The main preset on it is based heavily off of HP5 pushed 2 stops. Before we jump in, the kind of workflow of this is I'm going to talk about how I developed these presets, show you some comparison photos, and then show you some sample images off of different camera systems. So I developed them on Leicas, but they work across the board. So if you're just interested in the sample images, you can skip ahead or check out the link in the description to buy them on my website. First and foremost, the reason that I developed these presets is because I love shooting on film. I love the process, I love the results, and I love HP5 pushed 2 stops. So I really wanted to find a way to have that replicated in my digital world. So step 1 was I shot a lot of film and I learned the things that I like, I learned the things that I didn't like about HP5, and then I went out and actually shot side by side my M6 with HP5 and my M10, and I switched the lenses back and forth to get as close to replication as possible. And then on the last shot of the roll, I photographed a color checker. And I know what you might be thinking, why photograph a color checker with a monochrome preset? But really, this is what helped get it across the line. A lot of tweaking, a lot of back and forth, and a lot of checking of how things compare, values, everything, and it was all in a controlled environment, so I was able to really dial in the preset there. One of the things that was really important to me was that it would work on a wide variety of images, so sent it to friends, they tested it on Canon, Sony, Nikon, all the stuff, and I tested it on my old images as well. Doesn't break, doesn't get really funky. So now I'm gonna go through and I'll show you these kind of quick one-click edits with the LV1 and how that affects your images. Right off the bat, I just want to say these aren't the best images in the world. I was just trying to get some sample shots to see how this stuff works. So it's just mostly me walking around my neighborhood and photographing things that interest me. And I gotta say, right off the bat, the way that these turn out just looks really cool. Here's this Righteous Cuisine truck that I had a fun time photographing. Here it is. It's broken window. And really, at the end of the day, what I'm most proud of with this preset pack is that it's so versatile and it does a really good job in a lot of different situations. We look at this and there's just a lot of texture, there's a lot of depth to the image. And one of the things that is part of HP5, it's got a lot of grain. So I gave you a couple of grain modifiers. So we've got the killer grain, which is kind of the default grain levels, but just a little bit extra if you're feeling it, if you need it. Grain killer, which knocks it down almost completely. It's not totally gone, but it's close. And then you've got the 120 grain on there as well. So those are some nice things that you can use to kind of speed up your workflow, dial in the amount of grain, because I do know HP5 pushed 2 stops has a large amount of grain, so that's not going to work on every single photo. You've also got a few other things. So you've got the decrease contrast and save your highlights. Sometimes you just need a little bit of extra dynamic range in your image, and you want to save those highlights because they might get blown a little bit. So I have that built right in for you as well. One of the things, in order to get this look, I had to adjust the color balance. So it will, if you go and you photograph something else, that it does have a custom white balance. So you switch it back to color and it's going to be quite cool. So just keep that in mind. It does have a custom white balance, but that is to get the right tones in the black and white. So I just want to take a minute and talk through the other two presets that I have in this pack. So number 2 is based off of the M11 monochrome style. So it's going to be a little bit flatter. It's going to be a little bit more information there. And then 3 is based off of the monochrome in the SL2 and the SL2S. So those two, I went a similar route with that. And yeah, I really like the LV2 because if the LV1 is just like too crunchy, too much, which honestly, most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's dead on, I'll be honest. This is the first preset is by far the star of this show. So I've got a few different cameras here. This is my old Nikon D750 out when I was in Washington, and you just one click and it's done. I mean, that just looks incredible to me. I'll show you the other ones. A lot more information happening with the LV2 and the LV3. It just, but that LV1, one and done. I mean, here we go again. Get the lens correction, just highlight information. I'll kind of show you what's happening here, because before you're getting some blowout here, definitely overexposed it, and then you add that preset and you're not blowing out at all. That being said, Nikon's D750 dynamic range is insane. LV2 and LV3, you're definitely losing some of those highlights with those, but it's all salvageable, as we can tell. And then a road. I mean, I love it. Look at that. So this is where you can get some of those skin tones. Here's LV2 and LV3. Canon 5D Mark IV, and it looks great. Go 2, lift up those shadows, 3. But 9 out of 10 times I'm using this LV1 and it looks really good. Here we go, some more 5D4. And love the way that looks. Here's kind of my promo shot for it. And just to show you, there it is. One click and it's done. That's all I did to that image. Here's some night photography. This is all still 5D4. This is a 5D4 as well. And it just, I mean, the detail, I'm really proud of this preset. I think it performs incredibly well across a variety. And then here we are with the Leica SL2S. And there's just, you can get basically any look that you want from it. You've got film, you've got more editorial, and it does them all really well. And then here's the last image. And that's it. That's my monochrome preset pack. So if you've made it to this point, thank you so much. Check out the link in the description to go look at them further. And let me know if you have any comments or questions down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.